Thank you for visiting our channel. Today I came out to review and also quick unbox this awesome looking Android box. This is called the Classic and it's an anniversary edition. Now this is done by a company called Buzztv, which they bring really good boxes but does not have any subscriptions. So that part is on your hands. I want to mention that if you are watching this on YouTube, this is YouTube friendly. But there's a lot of parts that is not going to be covered. So for that, you can view the full review on our website, or the links are going to be available in the bottom. Except that I do not want to forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button. Make sure you share this with your friends and family. Make sure you click the notification icon. Select all in order to get notified once we have a new video out. On top of that, if you have a question, drop them at the bottom of the video. We'll have to help you out ASAP. And don't forget to click the like button. It really motivates us to make these type of videos quickly with a little more detail every time. In here are all the components that are part of the box. It comes with this user manual. As you can see, it's nice and big. Now once you open it, it talks about what is included in the box itself, how you're going to connect, which we're going to cover both of them. Also the installation steps, troubleshooting. When you go to the back part of it, talks about the remote itself. It is Bluetooth, which is BT350, and it will tell you exactly what each button will do. And then once you go more to the back, it talks about how you will be able to place it on learning mode. I really like how they have detailed everything with arrows. Makes it very simple to understand and learn and process it. On top of that, you also have the Bluetooth pairing remote on what you have to press in order to pair it with the box itself. And then going at the back part of it, you have a voice control, and you also have the backlight in order to turn it on and off. Also, you have the warranty information with some support detailing written over here. And that's about it. They also included this little big page. I really like this because you can use your phone, scan the first QR code, and learn about your Bluetooth remote. Now you have to understand that you can also use this to go to the browser on your phone or computer to do this. Also, the quick start guide, which we just showed you, is also on the website. So you can learn more without going to search for the box and for the paper. It comes with an HDMI cable. Also comes with a charging wire. One side is USB Type-C to regular USB 2.0. Now this is also included with the power adapter portion part of it, which is inside of a little plastic. I really like this little details. Now, when you go to it, you have their logo. I really like that. USB Type-A connection, so that way the wire can connect to it. And then once you go on one side of it, this is 5 volt. 2 amps, created for Canada in United States, and this is made very nice and solid. Why? Because you can open it, and when you're traveling, close it and take the box with you. This is going to really help you out when you are also on the go. So that's a plus sign. Now it also comes with this remote, which is inside of the plastic, so that way it doesn't get scratched up. It's pretty big. Now, I really like this remote because it's a little bit different than the other ones out there. The design itself, also the little cuts, as you can see, it looks like it's been 3D printed, but it's not. Again, this is just the design that they have provided. I really like how this has been put together. Let's just go through it. Number one is you're going to control your TV. Has a little circle around it, so you know exactly what you're going to get yourself into. This is for IR. The IR section is behind this. They didn't put anything shiny on the top, which is really cool. But you have the power source, volume down and volume up. When you are going to connect it, there's 2 little LED lights that you can see. And then you have the power button for the box itself. Going underneath of it, you have the favorite button, search button, server button. You can just press it and the server will populate. Also, you have the category button. So when you're into the channels, you will be able to quickly get in there. Also, you have live channel, VOD, TV series, and PVR. Yes, you can record with this box. Going down, you also have the menu button, the sound. In this case, I didn't take the plastic off. I just want to leave it there for a second. But you also have the Google Assistance button. You also have the guide, then the navigation key with the OK in the middle. I really like that. And then going down, you also have the return key, the like mouse. Also, you have the home button, volume up and down, channel up and down. I really like it that it doesn't say anything different. Also, you have the back button. And you also have the information button or the info button. Now going down, you have more buttons that we have to cover, which will be the media button, even the recording is there. The mute is there too. And then you have the for colorful button, which is going to be very helpful inside of the Buzz app itself. All the numeric buttons there too. You have page down and page up is there and not here. That's what I really like. And then they also written their name, company name, very small, but again, it looks very slick. And also the model number, so you will never make a mistake of which remote you have. And then when you flip it in the back, this is how it looks. And when you open the back, you have to put a little pressure in order to open it. And once it opens, it takes 2 batteries, which they always include. I really like that too. And it's an Energizer battery. So yes, they well thought about it. And then we're going to put this later and show you how this functions. But this is how the remote looks. I really like how this has been placed together. And then comes the box itself sitting in a nice plastic so it doesn't get scratched up. Let's just take it out. And this is how it looks. It kind of reminds you of the 4500 series, but these cuts takes you to E5. I really like how they have designed this. I really like this. And it's been raising up with the writing. I know that there's a little plastic. I don't want to take it out because it will leave some fingerprint residue, as you can see. But once you take it out, it will put more residue. I'm just going to keep it like this. I really like that. And then the sides, how it looks. And let's just go through it and show you what happens. So in the front, I have nothing. But I'm sure when you turn it on, you should see some light in the front. We will check that out. Also, when you go on one side of it, you have a TF card reader, USB 3.0, USB 2.0. Go into the back part of it, you have an AV connection, so that way you can connect older type of TV to it, but the extension is not included. This is also going to be used if you ever wanted to reset the box. You also have an Ethernet port, you have an HDMI, optical audio connection, so that we can connect it to stereo system. You also have the USB Type-C for power. Going on one side of it, you have a power button. Yes, you can press it now in order to turn it on or off if you don't have your remote near you. And then there's nothing here. So when you flip it in the bottom is where you're going to see everything. Did you see this? So it's not backward. If you go like this, it's upside down. But what they have done is when you flip it, because you're going to put the wires here, when you flip it, you will be able to see the serial number and also the MAC address properly. Well thought. I really like that too. You have 4 little legs, so this way when you put it on the table itself, you want to move it back and forth. It does move, so that means heavy cable can pull this. But I really like it that they have also shaped this to the Buzz logo itself. You have lots of holes for ventilation. You also have a nice sticker which will give you the FCC, which is accurate, and also it says where it's created. The name and also the model number is really nicely done. These guys are always working either on this or on the actual logo. I really like it that they always have something new that they can bring on the table for us. You do have a sticker with the MAC address and serial number, which mine is a little bit close, so we cannot see it right now. But this is how it's been done, how it's been created. And let's go next, connect it to the TV, and then see what's new. All right, in order to process it, let's bring this down. We will take the power, open it up, hook this part up. And as usual, we always say this, for CEC purposes, let's connect. If you didn't, so it's always good to connect the HDMI wire first and then the power. As I was mentioning, there is a little blue light in the front. So as soon as you turn it on, this is what you will see. And yes, it does have a little animation. And then it goes to pair the remote. Once you turn it on, and once you get to the screen, it will tell you what buttons on the remote you need to select and press in order to pair it. So it will be volume down and the OK button for a couple of seconds. And you can see that it's just now going to blink. There you go. And it says that it found the remote. Now we're going to wait for it to change. And there you go. Now it is connected. Now it's very safe to go ahead and set up your box. Once you enter your Wi-Fi, press OK, and it automatically just takes you in. Make sure your Wi-Fi password is correct. Now it will go through to get the latest update, if there is an update. And since there is an update, we will just process to go through it. Once the download is done, it is just going to authenticate and finish and reboot the system. And that's what we are waiting for. And there you go. Now we will click reboot. So as soon as it starts, this is what you will see. Now, I have to mention a few things, that the menus are pretty similar to the 4500s, since this is Buzztv 5. You can see the name is right on the top. Then on the other side of it, you have the settings. And then as soon as you go on it, it automatically just gives you a little pop-up, and it then gives you some more information about it. Something like settings, server settings. We will get into it if you are watching this on a full review. And then you have Wi-Fi. Yes, you can read Wi-Fi 6. You can see the little notification right beside the Wi-Fi logo. And then Bluetooth. Since the remote is Bluetooth, it is on. You can see that it is lit. But LAN connection is not connected. That's why you see it dim. If you go down, we already processed the update, but this is where you come to do the update. And if you want to change the background, this is the one that you got to click on in order to process background. Now, they also have another really useful app called Buzz Utilities. You can click on it, and this is where you go to play with the box more. I really like to go to volume and make sure that part is off. That way, your volume control is on your Buzz remote. And your TV is also going to work there, TV remote, for the voice to go up and down. This way it's not going to merge, and you're not going to have to hear very loud noises. Except that on the top, you also have the weather widget and also the date and time. Going next is going to be live TV. Now I haven't sub anything up, but these are automatically goes into the app and going to play with these parts, as you can see it. Now, if you are watching this as a full review, yes, it will be covered. And then go into all apps, so you can click on it so you can see all the apps. There you go. And these are the default apps that comes with it. Nothing comes over or under it. Now, going next is going to be here. Now, there is an app store. You can click on it, and then it automatically takes you to Aptoid. This way, if you need certain apps, you have access to it. You do not even need to sign in order to process it. But yes, you will have to give them allowance in order to go next and see things. And then right beside that, you have YouTube app and more. And if there is any other apps that you want to add, yes, you can click here and then grab it from inside and bring it out. So this way, very easily, you will be able to play with it. Now going down, you also have some different apps. Now these are all inside of the full apps that you can see, but they brought them over here. So it makes it a lot simpler. Now, that's not the only part. Now, when you go on live, if you already logged in, you will get little other notifications underneath of it. So that way, if you favorite on any channels, it will show up. Same thing with VOD. And if you record anything using an external drive, you can connect it. And yes, you can record. And also the EPG. You will be able to view it as soon as you click on it. But these are the best parts. Now, let's go next. So once you launch YouTube, yes, this is something normal that you will get. We will go as guest. And once you're here, let's go and try to play some files. So we will go into 4K. Now, once you go to settings, by default, it shows you as 4K. You can click on it and you will be able to see this is 4K, 2K, 1K or 1080p basically. But it's really cool that automatically just shows it as 4K. We're not done yet. Let's go a little nerdy inside. Now you can really see it that this is playing it as 4K but in 30 frames per second. The color and also the volume is proper, by the way. But I'm capturing it as 1080p and there's 0 frame drop, and that's what we're looking for. On top of that, the codec that they're using right now is VP9 and OPUS. The connection is proper. The network is right. You can see the buffer health is only on 29 maximum. It does not go over. I really like that. Well, actually it did went over. That's fine, but again, it plays it properly and it is very nice and smooth. So again, it plays right. I really like that how YouTube do work on this box. The next thing we will launch will be Geekbench. Now we have already run this, and you can see that as a single core we got 152, and for multi-core we got 502. Again, number and also chip does matter, and that's where you see a really good number. The next thing we will launch will be AIDA64 or AIDA64. So as soon as you launch it, this is what you see. Going under system, you can see on the top that the name is written. It says TV, manufacturer is AM Logic, and then going to classic anniversary is the model number. The brand is there too. Now if we go a little bit down right over here, you will see the RAM. It is 4 GB. Total is right over here, and this is how much is available right now. Now this is the internal storage is 64 gig. This is how much it shows, but right underneath of it is how much is available. Remember that we also installed some apps so we can do testing. Bluetooth on this is Bluetooth 5, but on this case it does not show the proper name. Again, it says 4+. The next part is going to be the CPU. You can see this quad-core processor running on Cortex A55 at 2004 megahertz, and then it is a 64-bit ARM, but is running on 32. The core is 4, and you can see the ones that are changing and the ones that are sleeping. CPU utilization is also available. You can see that it does not go over 21%. Now going down has more info. Now going under display, the native resolution on this is 1080p, and it is Mali G31, which is a single core processor running on 60 Hz on landscape mode. The next part is going to be OpenGL. That means play your games very vibrant. Now the network part, you can see in the bottom that Wi-Fi 5G right over here says supported. That's what we want from these boxes. The next part is going to be Android. So this is running Android 11, Red Velvet Cake. On the terminal, I really like it that they have left this alone so we can see it. Is the actual CPU. The SoC is running about 32 to maximum 35. And then the bottom part is the DDR, which is the RAM. And the battery. Well, it doesn't have battery, but you can see that all of the numbers that are included for us. Now, the next part is going to be codecs. Now, we can go to it. In here are all the codecs that you're asking for and you wanted to see. So these are all of them that is provided for us, and we can go through it and you can see which one are available, which one you are looking for. So something like Dolby Vision is right here. And another good part is that it has the AV1. Since this is an AM Logic chipset, we want these to run the videos a lot smoother, or even 10-bit will be playable on this. But we're going to test that in a couple of seconds. So here you go. These are the actual codecs that are part of it. The next thing we're going to test will be VLC. So once you launch VLC, you're going to see some of the samples that I already entered. Now this one is going to be my 720p. Let's just play it, and it should play it very quickly. So yeah, 720p works off Gecko. Like, you do not need to play with it that much. Now that's just one of it. Now when we go to the regular 1080p, this is how it looks, and again it's playing it very quickly. So the chip works and the codecs are running properly on this, so you do not have to have any kind of issues processing this. Now that's another part that is really cool. Now when we get out of this and then we go into something like the 4K one, let's just play that. Takes a couple of seconds and it will play it for you properly. I really like that. We have some little particles in the back and you can see those fans running. So if anything breaks or there's going to be a bird flying around, which is going to be a little bit far, it's going to show for you properly. This is what we're really looking for, because if it breaks, then that means it's not going to work properly. Now, that's not the only thing. There's one more that I have. And this one, it also plays it very nicely and very quickly. So I want to mention that it does work. Yes, also brings 1080p. Properly too, and this is 4K and 10-bit, and it plays it very quickly. So these are the plus signs, and if there is any kind of choppiness, you can see it now, and I don't see anything. So that means as video player on this works like charm. They have one more function that I really like to play with, is going to be under settings, and it's called Buzz Utility. Now, most of the newer boxes have an app by itself, so you can control certain things. But here you go. Under Buzz Utility, you will be able to update available, Also, power options, you can click on it and it will tell you if you're already on default, or you automatically, as soon as you turn on the box, should go to live TV or channel list or EPG. That means electronic program guide, to show you what is playing right now. I'm going to leave it on default. The home screen is something different. Yes, you can change your screens to be different. So you can go to classic and it will totally change and goes back just like the days that was golden days. In this case, that's what we are naming it now. And there's a lot of things that are similar on how it looked before. Something like right now, what you see, this was how the XPL 3000 with Buzztv started it at that time. Before they went from 1000 to 2000 and 3000, this was the look. So they really kept that here too, so that we can go back to classic, and if you ever needed it in order to process. The next part is, yes, you can change background, by the way, but we're going back to utilities, and then we're going back to home screen, and this way we can change it to the second one, which is called media player. And let's change that, and this is how the second one will work. And everything is on the top, but you have to remember that these little blue part, this part, is the one that you need to make sure that it changes to blue, like this one, and then you can click on it, and you will get this part. And this is how you will be able to go back to Buzz Utilities and then scroll down to home screen and then change it to media player 2. Now, this is how everything looked on a few boxes that they have. I really like it because it doesn't really populate things for you, and it's not going to be very hurtful to your eyes. But if you go towards the left or towards the right, you will see this. And then from here, you can go to Buzz Utility and then scroll down to home screen, which is right over here. You can change it back to modern or the latest one. And then we're just going to keep it there because this looks a lot promising, and this is how we are looking at the new boxes. So this way we can keep it. Once you go to 6 or Buzztv 6 or the P6, the look totally changes. Again, they kept everything almost too classic of how they look right now. But there's huge changes to that. I am sure that if you bought a P6, you're going to like that a lot better. But this is how this part works. And then we're going back into Buzz Utility, which takes part of this part of the video. You also have a section for weather settings, and you can change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius or back and forth. You can also lock your location, so if you take your box and go from one city to another or also one country to another, then you're still going to get the same weather on the main screen. Another part is called auto frame rate settings. You can set it up right over here, and you can read it all on what they're really looking for, on how they have explained it for you. There's one more part on this called remote control, and yes, the remote that comes with it. Every button have different functions. You can change it so you can launch different apps. I am not going to do that. I'm going to keep it for inside of the actual box itself. So when you're into Buzztv, you want to press yellow to favorite things. It's still going to work if you keep this all default. And if you go back on the top, this is where you're going to be able to play with the mouse pointer, so how fast you want it to get. And then this is where you're going to be able to place it, so that way it gets faster or it's going to be slower. So I like to keep it always as default, and this way it works properly for me. Now the next part is going to be volume control. This is really cool that if you already set up your remote to control your TV volume to, then you can just turn this on, and this way you just have one volume. Except that I like to have my own box volume and then the TV volume, so this way I can bring one or the other down to make it a lot better. And then the next part is going to be network share. So yes, if you are wired, you can share your network. So this way you can use this as an access point or as a broadcast new Wi-Fi. And this way it will work for you in the parts of the house that you don't have a proper internet. You do not need to go and purchase a router. And that way you can use your box, not only going to watch TV, but also broadcast Wi-Fi SSID, and you can have a newer name for it, which is really cool again to process it. This was Buzz Utility. The next thing we will test will be the speed test. In this case, we will be using speed test Okla. Now I know that I already processed it, so let's go ahead and process it again. I want to mention that we are connected via LAN connection. So let's go to first, and once you connect it, you can see that automatically as soon as it comes up, it will show you 1,000 because we have a gigabit landline on this. So there you go. That was my download rate. It comes up as 807, and my upload rate is capped about 50. So you can see that I'm exceeding my upload rate. And same thing with my download rate. It's a gigabit internet that we have. So which is really cool. And again, I will show you that not only going to give you gaming access or speed is good enough to do gaming on it, but also it's really good to stream things. So let's press home. That's number 1, and then we will be going back on the top so you can see that it is connected via landline. There you go. Now we will disconnect the landline and waiting for Wi-Fi to kick in. So landline just got disconnected, as you can see, just grayed out, and my Wi-Fi just kicked in, and it is Wi-Fi 6. So let's just go back out, go back to a speed test, and we will process it one more time using Wi-Fi. So in this case, we will go back and click on go. And let's see how good this time it will connect and give me numbers. As you can see right now, I am getting roughly about 270 or 300. There you go. So it looks a lot promising when you see it with better number. Now remember that this is just one Wi-Fi that we are connected to, and I got about 381. Now we will disconnect this as soon as it goes and it finishes. We will disconnect it and connect it to another Wi-Fi, and we will test it with that. Again, every number matters because of the router settings. So here you go. For my upload, I'm really exceeding 50. It's about 51.2. For my download, it is 381. When you click on it, it should show us more information. It doesn't do it here. Now if I have to go to this part, and then we will go to result, and here you go. So if I have to click on the first one, you can see how the numbers just start going up. This was my Wi-Fi, by the way, and my upload rate was really steady because it was really good, and my ping was about, or idle time was about 20. And there you go. That's the first part. And then when we went to the landline, you can see that it just stayed steady all the way through. And it's not that much that ups and downs there. That's not the only thing. Let's just be quiet a little bit and let's just reconnect this to a different Wi-Fi. For that, we will turn off the mice. There you go. And then we will go back to settings. We will go to Wi-Fi, click on it, and then we will try to connect it to a different Wi-Fi. Now this Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi 6E. Let's see if this box can get a better number out of it. And there you go. So we will get out of this. Now we will go back to a speed test, and we will click one more time. And I'm just waiting for it to see if it goes above the number that we had before, which was roughly about 320. So again, this is Wi-Fi 6E. And the upload rate is, again, it's about same. So the box can only handle so much. So this one do give you really good numbers, meaning that if you want to browse the internet, play game, play YouTube video, or stream, or in this case FaceTime someone, it will all going to work for you properly. And here you go. This is the ping. We got about 18, so it's a little bit better than the other one that we have. But again, it's still going to do the job for you. So Wi-Fi on this passes instantly. All the links will be available at the bottom of the video where you can order it from, except that this was our take. I hope you guys like our video. If you do like it, click the like button, subscribe button on the top, comment in the bottom. Always remember to visit our own website, which is xctex.info. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and other social networking places. And thank you.